Talkwadstudios.com, broadcasting you to the world. Okay, this is Doug Vaters, Vater Entertainment Live, and I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. And we got a couple of really special guests tonight. We really do. We got this guy right behind me here. This is Vinicius Machado. We've known each other for now about 15 years, I believe. It's going on, and he's live from Los Angeles. And we also have Greg Raven back in the studio as a co-host tonight. So we're going to discuss a little bit about that, and we got my wife here next to me, and she's say hello.
Hello.
All right, there you go. And first of all, we're going to get to my buddy, and that's Vinicius Machado. Vinicius, what's going on? How you been?
Been really great. Enjoying the summertime here in California now. Having spent the winter in New York, having like 14, 12 inches of snow every other day while shooting power. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to get a little summer break. And as you can see, I got a little bit of a tan going on, so yeah. Starting the summer off on the right foot. So always a pleasure to be with you guys, and thank you so much. Love you guys, and I thank you for having me on the show.
You are extremely welcome. So tell everybody how we met.
We met a very long time ago on the set of a movie called Grub by John Lewis.
That's right.
And you guys were producers on the project as well. And we met out in Florida, and then we've just been, best friends ever since, and always kept in touch and always a part of each other's lives.
Well, actually, at that time, I was only doing some camera work for John Lewis and prop work and stuff like that. I think Creature Productions was the only production company on that, and then Nick Cuddy was the writer and creator. Actually, John wrote it. Yeah, John wrote it, and Nick Cuddy was the production company, and maybe he did write it too. I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, I think Nick Cuddy wrote it. John directed it. That's what it was. Yeah. And I hope. Do you remember that?
It was such a long time ago. Yeah, it's easy to get those confused.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. That's what we met. So.
Yeah, exactly. So we did a few things then, and then I think you went from there to Ned's Declassified. Is that correct?
Yeah, I moved out here to California and got on Ned's, and everything else is history. So yeah. Yeah,
let's talk about a little bit about Ned's Declassified. How'd you like working in Nickelodeon Studios?
Oh, I loved it. It's such a great opportunity. Having just gotten out here for about 2 weeks or so in 2005 when I came out, and landing that gig right away, was very impressive, and obviously gave me a pedestal with my representation, which I had just signed on to about a week before I landed that job. Actually, it was one of my first auditions out here, and then from there on, just having a guest starring reoccurring on the show and becoming a regular, in every single episode of the third season, and then just building a reputation for myself. I think Nickelodeon kind of opened the door for me out here in Hollywood and gave me the platform and the track to run in, and I'm so grateful for it.
Oh, there you go. Where did you head after Nickelodeon? Do you remember?
Yeah, I went to Lincoln Heights.
Ah, there you go.
On ABC Family, yeah. With Russell Horsby, Michael Riley Berg, Bobby Roth, who also directed me on Flash Forward. Became really good friends with him right there and there, and then, worked with him a few other times later on in the future. But everything just, opened up right from Nickelodeon's Ned's Declassified. So.
That's right. What year did you do Get Smart?
I did Get Smart in 2009, I believe it was.
Oh, that's right, 2009. And I know were you on CSI too?
I was on CSI Miami, yeah.
Yeah. How was it working with Mike Chiklis?
You mean on The Shield?
On The Shield, there you go. Yep.
Yeah. Mike Chiklis is on the show. He's just an incredible human being, so humble, an executive producer, obviously, of the show and all that, and done numerous amounts of TV work, but yet so humble. Loved soccer, so we got to chit-chat a little bit about that. And I actually saw him. I was at an event for Nickelodeon at the time while I was shooting The Shield as well. And I saw him with Jim Belushi
Cool.
at a VIP rap party that they were having for the Globetrotters.
Nice.
Because the Nickelodeon cast got invited to attend one of the Globetrotters events. And then they were having a rap party afterwards. And then Michael Chiklis was there before I even, had the personal one-on-one with them on The Shield and all that. And we got to know each other. So kind of got to meet him before actually working with them on the set. So it was pretty cool.
That's cool.
Loved working with him. Such a great guy, such a great actor, such a privilege.
Yeah, Steve Carell. Did you get to meet him on Get Smart?
No, I didn't. He was there the day that I was shooting, but I didn't get to work with him. I worked with Peter Segal, the director of the movie, but I didn't get to meet Steve Carell.
Oh wow! Tell us. I know there's a lot of people out there that are, they're inspiring actors, and I have a lot of them on my show. And is there anything you could tell them on, when they come to Los Angeles, how they can get into the business, and any help at all on that type of thing?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have to educate yourself and be prepared for the worst right off the get-go. If you're not prepared, you're not going to know where to start off. And then just don't expect anything, come with open heart, open mind, but be fearless about it as well. Don't take that in a negative sense and say, it's impossible, because the competition is here and all that, and you hear that, but it's also a proven fact, and I'm the living testimony of that, a perfect witness of the fact that it can happen. But you got to be persistent and consistent about what your objective is, and you got to understand the nature of the business, and rejection is the name of the game.
Right.
So, I mean, as far as, steps to start off with, looking to get in representation. There's an amazing book called The Hollywood Representation Directory. And nowadays, mostly everything's online anyway. So if you have an IMDb Pro account, mostly you can look up, the information, the emails for the casting, for the agents and the managers on there. Just make a list for yourself, do like a massive emailing. That's what I did to all these different managers. And see which one bites, set up meetings, go meet with them. If you have one that seems more interested in working for you, who's going to push you harder,
right,
then, go with that. And then usually managers have a pool of agents that they like to work with. So having a manager first, I suggest, is a great step, a great first step into breaking into the representation part of the industry out here, and then let them connect you to the agents that they like to work with, and build yourself from there, so you can do that. And there's many different ways. I mean, if you just consistently work and pursue things, even though it may be like independent films, student films, the more you have to your resume, the more you can boast about. And, image is the name of the game as well. And so I've had friends who submitted themselves for agents, not having representation ever in the past, and just saying, hey, I've just booked the lead on this film, and I want to take my career to the next level. Would you be interested in representing me? And, agents have signed them on. So especially with social media nowadays, there's so much you can do on your own to be able to be marketing yourself. So just be proactive, I know I'm blabbing now, but just
No, that's fine. Actually, we were out there in May. Remember last May we were out there and we met you in the Burbank Mall. Remember that?
That's right.
Actually, that movie, The Call, was actually part of it was filmed in that Burbank Mall. And I think when the guy kidnapped the girl, I think it was done in that mall, because I said, "Oh, this looks familiar." So I know.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. I thought I mentioned it to you, but you probably forgot. But anyways, there's a couple of other things here we want to mention. Let's see what's going on with this one.
Conflicted. Conflicted is a short film that I was a part of and had the privilege of working on with Brian Lugo.
Oh yeah, Brian.
He's the producer, the writer, and also starring in it as well. And I just heard that it's finished and they're going to festivals with it. So I'm super excited about that. Let's see what's going to happen.
I did send the link to Brian, so hopefully he's watching right now.
Cool. If he is, what's up, Brian?
Yeah, there you go. All right, and we got some pictures to show here. This is well, we're going to get to that one. You know, the stuff you're doing now. We'll get to that in a little while. But who's this young lady here in the picture with you?
That's my beautiful wife.
Ah, there you go. And let's see, we got this one right here. Who's all that? Who's all they? All those people.
That's a full house.
Wow, that's cool. Is that everybody in that picture?
Yeah, those are all my kids. I got 3 kids. Pablo,
Aw.
Israel, and Isabella. They're a lot bigger now, so that was about
that's right.
a year or two ago now.
Oh, really?
So,
Wow. Time
yeah.
flies, doesn't it? Time flies.
Time flies by, yeah.
Yeah. So I've known you like 15 years, and here you go. You made this big family in 15 years.
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
Can you believe it?
They're
You
so
are an incredible
adorable.
person, man. You really are.
Thank you so much.
You are so incredible. We're going to go to our co-host here. And, hey, there's Greg. Hey, Greg, you got any questions
What's
for...
going on, Greg?
How are you, sir?
You got any questions for Vinicius?
I do.
Great.
No,
How are you?
I'm wonderful. I was listening to you talk about things for other actors and things like that. I was curious. Now, how do you prepare? Because I know a lot of different actors do different things. How do you prepare for a role?
Well, there's many different ways to go about it, depending on the level of what the role is requiring, depending on what the role is. I listen to music a lot. That inspires me, and there's a stigma about being external in the preparation process that is always seen from a negative point of view as an actor prepares, but it's not always bad. And as my coach would say, my acting coach would say, Richard Brander, casting directors and producers, they need all the help that they can get. So there's an initial process of transforming myself that I like to go through. And part of that is an external process, trying to reform or reshape myself. That's why my hair is always changing, my facial hair, my body type. I go from losing weight drastically like this. I've learned to discipline my body in such a way, and my eating habits, that I can do that on the call, and just gaining a lot of weight and then losing it, toning it up, like I had to do now for Power. Growing the facial hair and looking older to, now being clean cut and looking as young as possible. So all of that is part of the transformation, and then that, weighs down on the internal. And then the music for me is like such a key part of the element of the identity of who the character is and what I'm going to do with it, And there's different ways to approach it, and everybody does it differently. So, but for me, music is a very inspiring and tool that I rely on a lot, because as I engage in the process of understanding who this person is and how they think, and then how to emulate that, and then display that, I like to have, the harmony of what they would listen to in the back of my head, and let that demonstrate through, whatever it is. If it's hardcore, heavy metal type of stuff, and that's kind of the attitude I'm going to bring about, to approaching, and not necessarily externally that way, but my emotions are going to be weighed down with that, depending on the circumstance and all that. There's a huge process, actually. It's not something as easy as just learning lines. For me, I take it very seriously, and a lot of actors do it differently, but music is a huge thing for me. So I have a collection of just all kinds of different types of music that I use for resource.
Nice. I was always curious about that, because I know a lot of guys use different methods. Sometimes they do research on a character or someone. They might actually go into the streets if they're going to do a gritty kind of character or a drug dealer. They might actually go to the streets and talk to people and things like that. Whereas it seems like you're doing much more in depth than just talking to somebody, which I think is absolutely admirable.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, there's a thing about method acting and character acting, and most of the things that I've done has been stereotyped within the character acting, but I am a method actor as well, and so, being able to combine both and just having as many imaginary tools in your imaginary backpack, I think it only enhances, your ability to portray bigger and more things. So
that's
more
cool.
than
All right, let's. How about this picture right here? Where was this done?
Oh, that was. Excuse me.
It's okay.
That was Robert Kazijian's photography studio out here in Burbank when I was doing a new session of headshots with him.
Okay, cool. He looks like he does awesome work, actually.
Yeah, he does. He's an incredible photographer.
That's awesome work. How about this one here?
Yeah, that was out in Vegas.
Cool.
While vacationing with my family.
That's cool.
Aw.
That's a nice picture.
Yes.
How about this
Yeah.
one here?
That was what's this? Click West Photography Studio.
Click West.
Another headshot session.
Yeah, draw. I'm going to get it. I'm picking your brain this time, ain't I?
Yeah.
How about this one?
Work.
Tell us all about this.
This is a magazine cover from Face Brazil magazine that I was featured on.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first press from Power, being on a show Power, and they featured me on it. You know, being that I'm Brazilian and
That's cool.
the magazine is Brazilian based and for the Brazilian market. So they gave me the front cover and the feature interview on it.
Now, you were born in Brazil, is that correct?
Yeah, I was born in Rio de Janeiro, Niterói, Icaraí.
Ah, all right. How about let's see this one. Looks like you're working
Yeah,
out
that
in that
was
one. You kind of buff there.
You got all of them. Yeah, I was lifting really heavy there and like no carbs at all, just strictly whey protein, BCAA.
Wow.
I was buffing up for the feature film that I was shooting out in Arizona, Misfortune, and that was right after I had completed that.
Right.
And I was actually in Disneyland with my family as well.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about that. How did that go in Arizona? Did you enjoy that?
I did. I had a great time. It was really hot though.
Yeah. Well, I know.
Yeah, it was really hot, but I loved it. Yeah, I can't wait for the film to come out.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's very hot in Arizona, but it's a dry heat. It's a real dry
It's a
heat.
dry heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It's a real dry heat.
Especially compared to Florida.
Yeah. How about this one? This one looks like an older one.
Yeah, that was right after Ned's Declassified, actually.
Ah.
And that name of the photographer now skips my mind. Shoot, he's gonna kill me.
Uh-oh.
Whoops.
Well, I'll give you a couple of seconds. Maybe you'll think about it.
I'm gonna have to look that
How
one
about
up.
that one? That's on a stage.
Yeah, that was rehearsals for Acts, the three-man show play that I've been traveling and performing with for the past 5 years now, on and off on the road. So that was one of the rehearsals.
That's cool. All right, and we're going to get to this one, and you're going to talk all about that. That's what you're doing now, right?
Yeah, that's my new TV show called Power on Stars.
Cool.
Executive produced and starred by 50 Cent, Curtis
Oh,
Jackson,
nice.
and myself, playing Nomar Arcielo, a gang member of the Soldado Nation
Mhm.
in New York City. He's a Puerto Rican drug dealer who's also a pedophile. He's having a relationship secretly with his boss's 14-year-old daughter, so you can imagine all the trouble that he's in.
Oh, is that girl that was looking at off the balcony that time? Was that her?
Yeah, that's her, yeah.
Well, she looks a lot older than 14. But she's really 14?
She had to be, for the sake of, the law and all, she
Right.
had to be older than, the legal age. She had
That's
to be
what I
18
thought.
and over in
Right.
order to play, so,
That's what I
because
thought.
we didn't want, we were contemplating on going, a different route with my character and going to an extreme that,
Right.
I don't want to spoil anybody yet.
No,
But,
yeah. Just talk about the
so
shows
we
that...
had to have, for legal purposes, we had to have somebody who was of age,
Right.
legal age, for
Right.
us to be able to do things that we wanted to do.
Exactly. That's that. Yeah, I figured that. So, how many shows have you done now? 3. There's 3 out, right? 3 episodes.
No, there's 4 episodes
Oh, there's
out.
4 now.
The 5th one is coming out this Saturday.
Okay. So you wanna just tell us about where it is right now, not to give anything on the 5th episode, but where it is at this moment in the show.
As far as my character or
Yeah.
the show in general?
Well, the show in general or your character. Yeah, you can say to both.
Okay, so, let me give you a little bit background on the show. The show's
Okay.
about this nightclub owner who's living a double life. He pretty much made his way to the top by illegal dealings, you should say. You can say. And now he's contemplating, now that he's made it, having it, had he had the opportunity to go back in time, he would have done things differently. So now he's contemplating going legit and doing things rightly for the first time in his life. But everybody around him loves the lifestyle that they've created, that he's created for them and for themselves, and they don't want to leave it. And so he's contemplating, he's juggling these two worlds of whether or not, he's going to actually do things, in a legit way now, or he's going to continue in his path. And there's consequences for that because there's so much secrecy, and as he's a two-faced man, and nobody really knows who he really is, and so he's juggling. He's constantly having to diffuse, and to juggle these two different worlds that he's living in. And he's got a lover that he's falling deeper and deeper in love with, and so now the question of his wife and his family, and his kids, everything he's built for himself is being threatened as he's, questioning whether or not to leave them and all that. And so the show now is at a point where he's confessed to his lover that he has a family, a daughter, and all that. And he's also a kingpin. He is a drug dealer, the drug dealer of New York City, but he's got a hit on his head, and within his drug operation, things are going bad, and he's got enemies that have risen all of a sudden against him, and he doesn't know where they're coming from. He doesn't know who they are.
Wow.
He thought he had everything in control, and so he's having now to figure out who is behind the attacks on him and his operation, and at the same time having to keep the facade of the good club owner, that he is, to everybody else who knows him from that point of view. And so my character comes in as a CI, counterintelligence for the FBI, who blackmails me based on the information that they have of me dating my boss's 14-year-old daughter. So they use that to blackmail me, being that I am in a gang and affiliated with that whole entire operation and know the ins and outs of it. So they use me to get closer to my boss in order to pursue their most wanted lobos and Ghost. And so, interestingly enough, my character is going to become right in the middle, and in a very calamitous and epic way, he's going to be like the center focus of how the story is going to churn and what's going to happen from here on out. So,
cool. Yeah, that lead guy, he reminds me of Denzel Washington. I think I told you that. He's great.
Yeah. Oh, Hardwick, he's so great, and I worked with him on Dark 2 as well. And he's just such a strong actor,
He is
such a great friend. So just privileged to work with him again.
That's cool. All right, Mr. Raven, you have anything else you'd like to ask Mr. Machado?
Well, I was curious now. How is your experience on Power thus far, dealing with Curtis?
Mr. Jackson?
Yes.
Well, personally, he and I have just bonded in such a way. Personally, we haven't had actual scenes together as characters on the show, so there is no interaction there on the set. But personally, he's just such an inspiration. I followed his career and his life for a very long time now, his music as well. I think he's just an inspiring person, in all kinds of ways. He's such a hard worker. I mean, the guy is so humble. He's working left and right, nonstop, producing, writing, having, his business entrepreneurship things going. And he comes to the set and he's overwhelmed, and he's got his entourage with him, and you can see it that he's been, up all night doing things, and everybody just swamps him and wants more attention and more and things out of him. And he just gives. He doesn't complain. He doesn't question. It's actually really funny. I was very encouraged by his composure and his demeanor, his attitude towards that whole thing. I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot in many different ways through our talks as well. So it was such a humbling experience, such a privilege for me. I love him to death. I'm thankful for him, for Courtney Kemperbo, the creator and executive of the show as well, Randall Emmett, Mark Canton, David Noller, everybody, and just privileged to be a part.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, there you go. All right, what's the future of Vinicius Machado? Can you tell us that? What's the future?
Yeah, well, I have a few things going on right now. My film By Chance is just about completed, which was shot in New York as well. We had AZ, the rapper, Leslie Lopez, also from Power in there. The DP from Breaking Bad, Andy Vogelli was our was our DP on it.
Right.
Joshua Williams was my partner. So, anyways, we're gonna be anticipating the festivals with that towards the end of the year. Now we're just about finished done composing, and we're gonna be looking at the editors and director's cut, and then we'll be making a decision with that. I also have Misfortune, like I said. I heard that they got accepted into Sundance.
Cool.
I have a film that I am being offered as a collaborator and a producer on it as well. It's a feature with the producer of Sunken City, which is another feature film that I was in, which is out right now on digital downloads and Amazon and all of that as well. So if you haven't seen it, check it out, Sunken City. And then I'm up for different roles, so between different jobs right now and doing my own things as well. Got a web series that I'm going to be producing. I already shot 1 episode. Got 4 more to go for this first season. Mm-hmm. It's called The 5 Stages of Love. I'm going to be putting it out on my YouTube channel. Cool. And then another film that I am developing as well with another partner, and just a lot in the works. So we'll see. And then I also got representation in Brazil.
Awesome.
And they're looking to bring me out there as well. Yeah, I got a few things developing there. So we'll see by the end of the year what's going to happen with that.
Nice.
So.
Cool. Every week we have a trivia question.
Okay.
The one last week nobody could answer it, so it's got to be a hard one. So basically, the way it went is that what was the first 3D feature ever displayed to an audience? So nobody could guess it. So that's the same one this week. So I just don't have Jimmie to tell you, but I'm telling you. So I do, but it's in there somewhere. But anyways, yeah, it's so if anybody knows it, they know how to get a hold of me through Facebook or through Instant Messenger or whatever. They know how to get in touch with me on that.
Hint, it's not Sharknado.
No, it's not Sharknado. That's for sure. So anyways.
Is it Jaws?
No, it's not Jaws. It's not Jaws. So, all right. So, is anything else, Mr. Raven, that you have for Vinicius? Any more questions?
Not right now. I'm just thrilled to talk to him. This is quite an honor. I'm a big fan. So,
well, tell everybody about Greg Raven. What's going on with Greg Raven right now?
Well, I'm actually gearing up for a show here on St. Pete Beach. Going to be at the St. Petersburg Nights, which is on Sunset Way. Mm-hmm. I am a mentalist, for those of you who do not know. I'm looking into your brain right now. And basically what I do is I'm a paid charlatan. I basically tell people I read their minds for a living, and I don't. But it looks like it. I'll be the first to tell you it's a trick, but good luck trying to figure it out. And the show is going to be on July 25th. Pardon me, July 25th at doors open at 7 o'clock. The show starts at 8 o'clock. Tickets are $15 at the door, or you can buy them online at www.gregravenmagic.com for $10. So.
Oh, there you go. All right, and Vinicius, I want to thank you so much for being on the show tonight. I really do. From the bottom of my heart.
Absolutely.
I want to thank you. So, and Wanda
it's
wants
been an honor. Thank you.
And she wants to say thank you also.
Okay, we love you.
Yeah.
Love you too.
Yeah, God bless you. And we're going to be out there soon to see you again. So, because we got property out there that I told you about that. So.
Right, I'm excited and can't wait to see you guys out.
Still got that out there. So, like I said, I want to thank you so much again for being on the show tonight, and I want to thank everybody else for tuning in to Vater Entertainment Live. And Vinicius, is anything you want to shout out to anybody right now before we leave?
Well, I just want to thank Greg again, and you guys, Doug and Wanda and Vater Entertainment, and to all my fans out there, thank you so much for your continued support, and I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Yeah, and we love you too. You know that. So, okay,
Yes.
everybody. So, actually, Friday we have another show. We're going to have Susie DeVore. She was actually, she's done a couple of things for me. She was in Star Trek Genesis, a little series I did here. She was the doctor. We're going to show a little clip from that again. And tune in Friday, 8 o'clock for Susie. And it's you know, she's been in a vast, a lot of stuff. So, yeah, just watch the show. And like I said, you'll get a lot of information from her. Greg, you want to say goodbye to everybody?
I will say goodbye to everybody. And one more thing, I was just curious, how can somebody get onto your, what is your, well, anyway, I was just going to ask him, how can we get into your YouTube channel? What we look up?
Go ahead. All right, hold on.
Sorry.
There you go.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes.
My fault.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I was
Machado Productions. Machado, and my last name, Machado Productions, LLC, on YouTube. That's it.
excellent. I just wanted to give a little plug for that. So I want to make sure everybody can find your new stuff on there all the time. So
All
I
right.
appreciate that. Thank you, Greg.
no problem, sir.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody, and have a good night.
Talkwadstudios.com, broadcasting you to the world.